Core stabilization. So which are the actual muscles of the core? The major muscles involved in core stability include the pelvic floor muscles, transversus abdominis, multifidus, internal and external obliques, rectus abdominis, erector spinae, especially the longissimus thoracis, and the diaphragm. The minor muscles involved include the latissimus dorsi, gluteus maximus, and trapezius. Notably, breathing, including the action of the diaphragm, can significantly influence the posture and movement of the core. This is especially apparent in regard to extreme ranges of inhalation and exhalation. Therefore, how a person is breathing may influence their ability to control their core. Core stability refers to a person's ability to stabilize their core. Stability in this context should be considered as an ability to control the position and movement of the core. Thus, if a person has greater core stability, they have a greater level of control over the position and movement of this area in their body. The body's core is frequently involved in aiding other movements of the body, such as the limbs, and is considered that by improving core stability, a person's ability to perform these other movements may be improved, i.e., core stability training may help improve someone's running ability. As you can see, it is important to stabilize your core before engaging in literally any movement. Lack of core stabilization and proper breathing technique can cause the nervous system to become hyperactive, which will limit the mobility of the limbs because the nervous system does not consider these unsupported or unstabilized moves to be safe. Okay, so now we're going to talk about core stabilization. Now, core stabilization is very important because if you have lower cross syndrome, most likely your pelvic is tilted in the anterior position, and that's why we learned pelvic tilt in 101. So now that we've already laid that foundation, what we really need to do is work on locking this rib cage or anchoring it down, because it really shouldn't be winging out. You really want to be able to lock this down, and the muscles that help you do that are the obliques. Most people think it's the diastasis recti. Most people think that it is. So the muscles that are really going to help you do that are the obliques. Most people think that it's the rectus abdominis, but it's really these obliques that will help you anchor in this rib cage into the proper posture. Now, the way that you know that you, and we're going to use this as our guide point, the way that you know that you are in proper postural alignment and have stabilized your core is because you can do low abdominal breathing, and it feels like a 360-degree breath. And I didn't used to understand this until I learned this sensation. I didn't used to understand this 360-degree breath sensation until I learned this coordination. Because you can really feel the breath go down into your butt, basically. So what you're doing here is your rib cage is anchored in, and you can feel, take a deep breath, and you should be able to feel it not only expand forward and backwards, but also out left and right. So this creates the 360. And you can even literally feel it in your butt. Now, an important piece of this is, remember when we learned about depressing your traps in 101? You need to be able to still do that while anchoring your core down, your rib cage down. So this is core stabilization. It's literally, you lock your rib cage down, but at the same time, you depress your traps. And that's going to literally force your neck and head upright and make it much easier to chin tuck. And I feel like you naturally just kind of go into the mewing position, but I don't know if that's just because I've been mewing for long enough that it's become a habit. So yeah, that's basically what you want to do. I like to think of my back. I look at my shoulder blades, and I think of it as an X, right? So my right shoulder blade is shooting down to my left hip, and my left shoulder blade is shooting down to my right hip. That's how I think of it. So I'm locking down this rib cage, I'm anchoring it in, and I'm anchoring down these shoulder blades, right? And now I'm naturally in that neck position and kneeling. And how do we know that we're in this position? What is our checkpoint? The low abdominal 360-degree breath. And this is going to be very important because as you're doing your exercises, your training movements, you want to be able to do this. So how you're going to know if you're doing it without a mirror, if you're not in a place where you have a mirror and you can really watch yourself, is that breath. When you're out walking, when you're talking, whatever the situation is, you want to be able to feel, can I do the 360-degree breath? Is my core stabilized? Okay, so that's how we do that. Okay, now what we're going to do is work on releasing diaphragm. And this is a major factor in posture. If you have a tight diaphragm, it can be affecting your posture, it can be affecting, it can be giving you gastric issues, it can be affecting your respiration and other things. So it's a very important muscle to focus on. You want to release it because it will help you to be able to engage in low abdominal breathing or belly breathing. So what we're going to do is put our hands right here at the edge of our rib cage. We're going to start on the left, then we're going to do the right, and then we're going to do the middle. Now the thing about this is you don't want to go under, don't push up under it because it's a very fragile area. So what you want to do is just go right on the edge, okay? Now you're going to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, don't let your stomach push your hands up, okay? So you're going to take a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, you're going to push down. Now leave your hand down around your belly button and take another deep breath in while not allowing your stomach to push your hands up. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. Hands on the edge. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to do the right side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now the center, same thing. Now we're going to close this off by doing a breathing exercise. So you're going to put your hands right over your low abdominal region, your thumbs. It's like a diamond, like the Rockefeller symbol. You're going to literally put your thumbs over your belly, like on the area over your belly button. And your fingers should be pointing down below the navel. So your belly button should be in the hole. And you're going to try to breathe up into your hands, okay? So we're going to do the 360-degree breath. It's gonna be hard at first because most people are used to breathing up here. So it's gonna be a little bit of a workout, but the more you can release your diaphragm and improve your core stabilization, you'll be able to do these low belly breaths. So the next two coordinations we're going to discuss are the vacuum and the zip up. So both of these are very important coordinations in core stabilization because they really help you engage your abdominal muscles. So with the vacuum, what we're going to do is take in a deep diaphragmatic breath, release it, and then suck your pelvic floor up, almost like a vacuum. And it's going to feel like your pelvic floor is frowning. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out, and suck up your pelvic floor. Okay? The second coordination we're going to discuss is the zip up. Now with the zip up, we're going to start it the same way. Take in a deep breath, let it out, and then we're going to pretend that we are zipping up a zipper that runs from our pelvic floor all the way up the center of our core to the bottom of the rib cage. Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath in, release it, and then zip it up. Now you're going to find at first that these might be a little uncomfortable or awkward or hard to find, but you'll find with practice, you'll be able to master these two coordinations. Now these coordinations are very instrumental in really strengthening your core because not only does it help you learn to get in touch with how that sensation feels when you engage your abdominal muscles, but you're also going to find that when you're doing your movements, engaging in either the vacuum or the zip up is going to make all of your movements more challenging because you're not just flailing your limbs around, you're actually engaging your abdominal muscles in the movements and stabilizing your core.